Welcome to Rome's Rebellion. We're here with the newest segment of the show called Blunt Talk, and we are here with our first ever guest for this show. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Mason. I'm at Marxist Jar on Twitter, and that's it. That's all I've got to say.
This segment is nothing too, we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it relaxed. It's called Blunt Talk for a reason. We will be, relaxing, smoking a blunt or two or a joint. This new segment of the show is, just a little bit more relaxing for the left. A lot of us are up in arms, and, that is understandable, but sometimes it will feel good to kick back and actually just talk about stuff that we have in common or stuff that we do in our communities or what we want without yelling at liberals or conservatives. So, thank you for joining. I'll let my guests speak because y'all know I can talk all fucking day. So, what really got you into activism? To be out protesting, and what really drove you out there?
I think the first thing that, if we're going way back to when I first really started dipping my toes into things, even when I was a liberal, it was really growing up as a queer kid in a extremely religious environment. My parents are very religious, my family's very religious, and so that was, you weren't allowed to be a queer kid in that house. You weren't allowed to be, as great as my family was, but in the religion, you're not able to do certain things. And I found myself feeling very restricted in that. And so growing up, I felt that way. And then also growing up with my experiences as a woman, and also growing up in, Sterling Heights, which is a huge Arab population. I was, lucky enough to be able to be exposed to so many different cultures and groups of people that when your friends are Arab and your friends are immigrants and ICE is coming and taking them, you don't really have a choice but to, say fuck ICE because your friend just got taken. And so I think that was a big part of it, was just having experiences with people, and then just people that would check me on my bigotry, unlearning religious bigotry, unlearning a lot of, just being a white person growing up, unlearning a lot of racism, unlearning sexism, all the isms and phobias that I had to unlearn, started getting me into it. And then my junior year, I was sexually assaulted, and the system just completely, the police did nothing, my prosecutors did nothing. My prosecutor on my case is actually currently being charged with obstruction of justice. Yeah, so that'll be a fun video.
I actually know how the system works, I've been in jail a handful of times, and I see, people actually going to jail for rape, getting 6 months.
Right.
And somebody that's selling a couple of grams of cocaine getting life because it's their third strike or whatnot. But this system is so crazy, and you can tell how, you can really tell, when people have power and what they do in their free time.
Right.
Because the things that they let these people get away with, if they let rapists get away with 6 months for raping someone, imagine what they are doing with their power. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That you gotta sympathize with somebody to at least give them that low of a sentence. But if I was to violate any of your codes, even if it wasn't, it's nothing. Nothing is worse than rape and grooming, because even I don't look at murder like a big thing. Some people do need to be murdered. Some people are hunters. Some people are prey. But taking a part of someone's, that's just like
taking someone's autonomy.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say you could always excuse murder, but you have self-defense and you have things like that. But when it comes to rape, it's that is solely power and control that you are trying to take away from a person. And I ended up developing PTSD, and my school failed me and the system failed me, and that's when I really realized shit, like this system is really messed up. But at the time I was, 16. I didn't know what to do. I was a kid. And it wasn't until recently, I started, I got into a relationship with a Black man from Detroit who has dealt with a lot of issues that I've never even had to deal with. And in that relationship, you have anyone who tells you being in an interracial relationship is the same as like a same race relationship is just bullshitting you, because you learn so much from being with that person, and you have a lot of hard conversations.
My kid's mother is white, so we used together throughout childhood, so I understand, especially growing up in in the 2000s, man. You got a lot of bigotry coming from both sides, Black and whites.
Right.
I was talking about this on my show, like a lot of older Black people don't want you with other races, but they won't really shame you to your face, like how white families be like, oh, you're not dating that nigga, like no way, don't bring him to this house. But
right,
the black bigotry, it'd be like they just act different, they treat you different,
and I get it though, because when you look at white bigotry, it's it's systematic. It's you can literally oppress someone. If my and I'm not saying my white father has said this, but let's say my white father was like, I don't want you dating that N-word, you're not going to date him. He could do something about that systematically. He could stop that. Versus, Juwan, my partner, his parent saying something, it's just going to hurt my feelings. It's going to be way more individual. And I have talked with a lot of Black people, mostly Black women specifically, about this, where they feel that a lot of Black men get into relationships with white women just because they're socially conditioned to find white women more attractive and to want to be with white women, and it's rooted in this colorism and racism towards Black women.
we can say that, but if we say that, we can say the same thing with homosexuality. I feel like people like who they like, and a lot of people just can't understand because they're in their bubble so much, and nobody ever even tried to poke through. So when they see something totally different from the worldview they like, there has to be an explanation. There has to be some scientific explanation of why Black men like white women. We just like humans, and it's so crazy that even like before the gay rights, before all this crap, we can marry animals before, you know what I'm saying, me and you can get married.
Right.
That is crazy. You know what I'm saying? To, no matter what you look like.
Right.
To even think about that type of shit is just crazy. Because no matter what you look like, what you walk and talk like, where you from, you still are a human being.
Right. And that's the thing, like what we even talked about yesterday a little bit on Twitter about was like, we have so much infighting within the leftist community and within these communities. I understand why. Like, I understand why Black women would take issue with my relationship. But I know that I've done the introspection on my relationship, and Juwan and I have had a lot of hard conversations and have talked about, hey, like, why are we in this relationship? And have really dug deep into that and have explored it. And I feel like I try to be an ally to the community, and sometimes it's hard to be an ally in the sense of sometimes you just don't know how to help, because you're always going to make someone upset, and that's nothing compared to like what you have to deal with in terms of oppression every day. But it can be really hard as an ally to figure out, okay, when this person tells me, hey, you shouldn't date a Black man, I want to listen to them because they are Black women and they know the community. But then the other part of me is like, well, I love this person, and I don't feel like my relationship is destroying the Black family. I feel like things like the industrial prison complex and police brutality and all, I would much rather talk about these issues. Because I feel like my relationship isn't necessarily that. But I'm also a white person saying that, so you get in this really weird position.
But you're not wrong, you're not wrong. But, and I feel you, you feel like your feelings are being, your voice is being oppressed. It is in a way, and I'll tell white man this too, like, look, you're right, but guess what? you white. Nobody gives a fuck. It's
Right.
220. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's like it's nothing compared to the like there are so many other issues happening, you know,
Mhm.
like even the system failed me, but you know, like look at Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
The police executed her and all we've got is one cop was fired.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, the system failed me, but like I still acknowledge that there is intersection.
Yes.
And that, you know, if you're, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, like my experience as a white woman is the exact same as a black woman's experience, because it's not.
Yeah.
And for me to not acknowledge that would be ridiculous and stupid, and that's where we get into white feminists.
They have some nerve.
They
That's
do.
why-
They
that's
don't
why-
fix their mouth
That's
ever.
why I don't claim to be a feminist. Like, I don't care how many marches. Like, I don't post pictures and stuff like that
Mhm.
like I should, but I would never. You know, I try not to put myself under a label. You know,
Mhm.
especially like I was only DSA for Bernie Sanders, but I'm not a Democrat. I'm not even a
Right.
socialist.
Right.
You know, I was just trying to push Bernie through. So,
Mhm.
but the things is with these titles, man, they can get you in trouble, especially when you don't really know the meaning. I was just telling, I tell my people all the time, like, you know, let Black Lives Matter do their thing.
Mhm.
And people don't look at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Black Lives Matter is a white organization. It's white people. It's made by white people for black people. Let them do their thing. And you know, a lot of these people, they get like, you got some nerve to have a problem with the people that's standing up for you when you won't even do it yourself. You know, some people say, oh, well, there's white people out here protesting and there's gay people out here protesting. Who gives a fuck? They're fighting for your rights.
Right.
You know,
as long as they're not speaking over.
Yes.
And they're
speaking
supporting.
for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And speaking for your community, because some of these people live in this community, you know.
Mhm.
They don't come 100 miles away to put on the show, you know.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of these people just want something to bitch about, man. They just need something to bitch about. Something has to
Right.
be wrong, you know, and something has to go my way. But the world, I always tell people, you know, like, step outside for a second. You know, I will literally take you outside.
Mhm.
Now look up, look around you. You see how big this world is? Why do you think everything revolves around you?
Right. And that's the thing, like I do agree with that, but then I also acknowledge the fact that the reason a lot of people feel that way is because you do, at least for me, when I was at a Detroit Will Breathe protest, like when George Floyd's story had first come out, obviously things were really tense, and I remember seeing white people speaking over black people and like posing with the cops and smiling with them, and it's like, this isn't, you know, these are people's lives. This isn't, you know, just a fun little march to run around with. Like, we're fighting for policy. We're fighting for actual things to happen. This isn't just, oh, this weekend I'm gonna go to a Black Lives Matter protest, get an Instagram photo, hang with my friends, and then nothing's gonna happen. We're trying to abolish the police. We're trying to arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. We're trying to, you know, find accountability for all these people. And I guess it's just,
see, that's why I say, because, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm more like hardcore lefty. That's why I say let Black Lives Matter do their thing. If people want to protest, let them protest.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. But my problem is where the protests take place. You know, and how it's done. You know, I don't think we should be protesting in, you know, these poor neighborhoods. I think we really should
I've
just
heard that.
camp out
Mhm.
in these politicians' yards. We pay their bills, and we have every right to be there.
We gotta
And,
disrupt if we want
yes.
anything to happen.
Yeah, and there has to be rights. Like, you know, these protesting people has to learn their lesson. Some of these people on the top only know certain languages, you know, and when you are dealing with these people that have been, you know, fucking over people all of their lives, that's the only language they understand. So when you fuck with their lives, they will understand. You know, when you fuck with their property or their kids or whatnot,
and
you
that's
target
proven.
them. Yeah.
Like this summer of, we don't like riots. No one wants a riot. No one wants a revolution. But what do you do? Because when, you know, we kneel during the national anthem, well, not we, when Black people kneel during the national anthem, everyone took issue with it. When people march in the roads peacefully, people take issue with it. When people riot, people take issue with it. But guess what? This summer of riots has done more for this movement, has gotten people to legitimately talk about abolishing the police and funding the police, rather than it just being like, oh, F the police.
Yeah.
Has brought up legitimate discussion and policies, and even the, you know, no-knock warrants, you know, all those.
That's what I kind of like better than what our parents' generation did, was, you know, we actually busting heads. Police, you know, precincts are getting burnt to the ground. You know, a lot of people was actually kicking ass and taking names. I like to see that. I want to see more of that, because, you know, I had an issue with a lot of these riots, especially back in the day, protests, especially back in the days when there was enough Black people in one city to just flip the whole fucking state upside down, literally.
Yeah.
You know, even if they called in the military or whatever, like they not, like they might call in and fuck you up, but it's too many taxpayers in there to just kill off all Black people.
Right.
And this is what, you know, Black people gotta understand. They scared. That's why a lot of people fall in this coon mentality, this tap dancing for the DNC, because they so scared of what the government might do. Or if we rise against the government, they're gonna send the National Guard and bring them. Don't you have guns?
Right.
Like, I mean, this is why we should have a people's union. You know what I'm saying? With the citizens of your neighborhood, not just a neighborhood watch. You know what I'm saying? A union with citizens, and we can really have, you know what I'm saying, bunkers of fucking guns or whatever the fuck we need, survival kits. We really need to be on that type of thing, because when if the government ever do something like that, we got to be prepared. Because if it's in your mind, if it's possible, then it might happen. So don't you want to prepare, instead of just kneeling under their goddamn
No, I definitely agree with that. We should be prepared. We shouldn't trust our government. We should be questioning authority. And, you know, no one's like, oh yeah, let's go out and riot and let's go out and do this. I mean, maybe some of the anarcho-communists are like that, but the issue I have is that if we would just, amongst the left, if we could just put aside our egos and say, look, when we have a socialist society, we can talk about, you know, whether Marx or Lenin was right, or whether anarcho-communism is the way to go, or whatever.
Right. Because we still didn't test out their theory for ourselves. So how do we know if it
universal health care?
Right.
Like, we are still so far right, so capitalist. We're Black people being executed by the police. We
basically still got 2 generations of people to go to get health care for everybody.
Yeah, we got something we got to push for. And if we would all just push aside our egos a little bit and say, look, we can disagree on this for now and eventually address it, but right now we have to fight against fascism. We have to fight against the fact that we have 2 presidential candidates who are people of sex. They're fascists, they've sexually assaulted women, they're racist, we have to deal with those things right now. You know, Howie Hawkins is our most progressive candidate on the ticket right now. And even then, he's pretty left, but he's not as far left as we'd like him to be.
Right. And that was the thing with Bernie, because I was like, man, you know what, man? Whatever, I'll ride with you, dog. Because you're not talking, you ain't saying shit about sex work. You ain't saying shit about, you know what? I'll just ride with you, brother. I got you.
Yeah,
because
like this is the
step. Yeah, this is the settle. This is a step. This is a step up from where we are. And I said that on Twitter. Bernie is a stepping stone, not an escalator.
Right.
You know, we got to step up ourselves. So, you know, I'm not mad at him. I'm not holding no grudges, but you know, I held down for Bernie. I held down for him. I tried to push him as far as left whenever we did our DSA thing when he was up here in Detroit. You know, let him know, like, the crowd, like, do your damn thing, you know.
Right.
Other than that, man, Bernie and Hawkins, man, I feel the same way about I feel the same way about them like I feel about any other person that's over 60 running for office. Like they out of touch. They're out of time.
Yeah.
But this is the best we can get until one of us run. And the system's so fucked up that a nigga like me can't even run. I can know the law in and out, and I can know this and that, but
here's a crazy commie.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a crazy commie with a criminal record. Even though it's a sponge,
right.
They still can bring, the smear campaign. It's over. It's over. Even if I try to run for any office, they're gonna, So it's not even worth probably going back to prison.
And that's the thing. Like, people still have so much faith in the system, and they're not realizing that, like, yay, if we put Biden in, like, yeah, it might be a little less horrible, but then we also got 8 years possibly with him. We just spent a whole summer screaming ACAB and abolish the police, and now we have Kamala Harris and Biden
talking about they're gonna get the police more money.
Exactly, and he's laughing at the fact that we're still asking for defunding the police, and he's actually trying to give them more money. And so
it's like
why do you what policies is he giving us? He gives us nothing.
Asking Biden to defund the police is like asking God to cure cancer. Why would I do that? I put that there. I made that
he's had
like
decades
that for a reason.
He's had decades to fix
I
problems.
put it like that for a reason. What are you talking about? Get rid of this.
Yeah.
You got your fucking mind?
No, yeah, like to expect the author of the crime bill, and a former, attorney
prosecutor,
my bad, to expect that is just kind of silly. I think it's just wishful thinking. And, I don't think that, again, I do have leftist friends who are voting for Biden because they're in swing states and they feel like he's the better option. And, I
hope you lose. I hope they waste their fucking votes.
I hope so too. But, I'm still not going to, beat on them and say, you're not a leftist, you're not this, you're not that, because all I'm going to do is push them away. And all I'm going to do is make them say, well, you guys are really fucking crazy, and now I don't want to even associate with that all, versus I could sit down and have a conversation with them and say, hey, I don't agree with this, but let me tell you why, and let's talk about this, and let's actually discuss and have a dialogue versus just screaming at each other on Twitter.
I still know a handful of people still voting for Biden, or they say they are. Where they be getting discouraged when they see him on TV saying racist shit. They call me oh my God, But, man, I just be like, look, you made this bed, you lying it. I'm telling you, if Biden win and he start writing some fucked up bills and I call you out on it, and you not sitting there pushing Biden to the left, like how y'all claim you were, you can't, we're not friends, bro. Because you are the gatekeeper to the system that's holding me down, bro. You know what I'm saying? How can I be friends with something like that, bro? I can't be friends with somebody that's helping my bully. If you telling the bully where I live, you know what I'm saying? That's basically we can't be friends at a certain time. After a certain point. Yeah,
political views are moral views. There's this weird, and this is just being willfully ignorant at this point, to not act like political views don't matter in your relationships with people.
Don't tell me Biden is better, and you know that I know the history of this man. Tell me that you're scared of Trump, because that's the only logical reason people will have to get rid of Trump. Because the nigga didn't start any wars. He just an open white supremacist, a white nationalist.
He just promoted a culture.
I would rather have that shit than anything. I know who the fuck I'm fighting. I know who's in his cabinet. It's not a mixture of lefties and war criminal Republicans.
Or career politicians.
Man, how the hell can I fight that?
Yeah.
With Trump, I know who the target is. See, now the lefties have a target, and the liberals are kind of just right. They just there. You know what I'm saying?
Because they don't do anything. They really don't. Because it's they keep on telling us, last election even, when we fucked over Bernie again and we got Hillary, and they were like, okay, next election, just vote this election so we at least don't get Trump. And it's like every single election, I feel like we're still going through this thing where it's like next election. I want now. I want change now. I want abolishing the police, like some sort of start. We don't have to we shouldn't abolish the police tomorrow. I mean, I wish we could, but we have to, develop these things and eventually start some policy. But I'm not even seeing policy. I'm not seeing anybody. No one is giving me nothing. I'm getting absolutely nothing to work with. So if I've got nothing to work with, then I'm sorry. Like, you haven't earned my vote.
What you mean earn? What?
You wouldn't just vote for your political party without understanding the policies?
What is she talking about? Oh, that's the language of the poor. Don't listen to her. That's the language of the poor. The hell you mean earn? We don't earn anything. Everything is given.
You don't.
Damn.
And it gets so discouraging. Even I found myself like needing to take some time off from organizing and protesting because I was like, I'm not even black and I'm getting overwhelmed. And with my partner, he's talked with me. There have been times where he comes home and I can see it. He's stressed, he's upset, he's tired of living in the system. He's still living in Detroit and still
and
living.
he gotta come across the 8. You come and see. Oh wait.
He's on like that's like he's down there. So man. He knows a lot, and he's really taught me a lot about just his experiences that someone like me from the suburbs I wouldn't even know about. And it's just like how hard I have to watch him just fight for basic ass shit that I get just every day. And it sucks. And I it's like, how do you not become radicalized when you interact with so many people that you see? Or even at my work, I work at a nonprofit for domestic and sexual violence, and we have a shelter. And we're in Macomb County, but all of my residents are Black women from out of county. So you're gonna tell me there's not systematic problems when I'm in a mostly white city here, and my core population that I work with is Black abused women.
And you see, a lot of people, I try to preach to a lot of young Black men, like pull them to the side or whatnot. They are radicalized, but they just don't have a political ground. They don't have anywhere to put their thoughts because
they don't have the resources.
Yeah.
To even they know what they
like,
feel,
right.
but they don't know those the definitions.
Sense. Like man, fuck him, yeah. Right. Like, what is you? You not a Democrat? But you Black? Like, nah, nigga, we don't do that here. We don't do that in this generation.
I know. It's like you shit on Trump, and then they're like, "Yeah, Biden Harris." I'm like, hold on.
Obama too.
Oh yeah, and Obama. I'm like, hold on, listen. That's not me.
You don't want to make shit. I be making everybody mad. Shit, I put on Facebook. I was like, Obama deserved to be in prison. Mm-hmm. My auntie was like, "What's wrong with you?" It's like, shit. I said what I said.
Right, and like we talked about earlier, off camera, we were talking about how you saying that versus me saying that can have completely different responses. Whereas I have to make sure that I draw a line in the sand and say, hey, white supremacists, I'm not talking to you because they'll take me. Like when I
retweet, you'll fuck around and get retweeted
every
by Trump.
tweet, I'll get like a response like, yeah, you hate Biden. Yeah, Trump train. I'm like, hold on.
I get those too. It's probably like 1 or 2. Like if one of my posts go like viral or something, if I'm not putting Biden versus another lefty or you know what I'm saying, or another Republican, they're gonna be like, yeah, another Black for Trump. Right. And like I had went to the protest in Lansing. Mm-hmm. This is like a couple months ago. I went to this protest when they had the guns on them, whatever. So
you're talking about like the COVID protest?
Yeah.
Oh God, you went to that?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I was just reporting white people behavior. No, I'm
the caucasity.
It was Q up there too.
Oh yeah.
It was deep.
I mean, I can't say if you don't believe in COVID, I'm not surprised that you believe in the JQ. So
I don't even know what the fuck they're about. But anyways, what the fuck I was getting at?
That's the problem when we do the blunts. We just completely lose focus.
Where the fuck I was getting? Oh, I went to the protest.
Right.
And some white dude.
What was that like?
I'm interviewing some black dude, and you know what I'm saying? He got his kids and whatnot. He was up there, whatever.
Right.
We're just talking, and then some white dude come up like some get out shit. He like, thank you for coming. We need more people like you up here. Like what? I was like, oh no, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't support Gretchen. I don't support none of these government systems. And he started looking at me like, start walking. I'm like,
he starts holding his gun a little bit tighter. Yeah, I definitely relate to that. It's
How do you feel about doing DMT? No, how do you feel about abolishing the Supreme Court?
I saw that tweet today, and you are one of the first people I've actually kind of seen really bring that up. Fuck the Supreme Court.
A lot of people don't like it because you see, I
don't understand this. How we're allowed to like keep people in the court that long. Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
she can suck my dick, but
she has had cancer so many times, and I don't know how that woman is
she
still
shouldn't
alive.
have waited. She shouldn't have waited.
Yeah,
how is this my fault that this woman has, man, whatever.
She knew what she was doing.
She know what the fuck she was doing.
I know what you're talking about. You know, I know what you're saying.
And she nothing but another old white conservative woman. Why the shit I give a fuck? Who replaces her is gonna be another racist conservative. Why should I care? Oh, just because it got a D or an R, that makes a difference? It's not a big difference when everybody voting for the same things. And yes, she might have fought for, certain things, but these people do this to make themselves look good.
Right.
Because they didn't take away, healthcare, they didn't knock down schools, they didn't, Supreme Court is known for locking up young black men. But, abortion rights and this and that. Yeah, you can do this and that. But hold on. Where's the rest of the real important shit? You know what I'm saying? And why is these motherfuckers appointed? Why should we trust
one person
to appoint this motherfucker for a lifetime job? And this is where the danger's at in a two-party system. This is what I always say. We gotta get out of this sport. We gotta get out of this two-party system. Right. We gotta abolish these systems that keep white supremacy alive. We will never get out of the system if we keep things in place that, keeps this system in place. And this is what the Supreme Court is for, is to make sure capitalism stays alive and wills, to make sure the prison industrial, make sure they get their money and make sure that all these war criminals get their money, is keep a check and balance at a certain level. The check and the balance is they're gonna make sure, at a certain level the poor get poor, and poor go to jail, rich get rich, and the rich get out of jail. But they get I forgot, it was a saying this old nigga used to tell me. When you rich, they call it when you rich, they call it a fine, a penalty with fine. Mm-hmm. But when you poor, it's prison time.
Right.
But yeah, we will never get out of the system, if we keep things like the Supreme Court alive. And anyways, I don't want to keep babbling off, wasting most of the time. That
was a hot take.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I do have to agree with that. I remember even being in high school, I remember questioning my government teacher and saying, why don't we have term limits on the Supreme Court, and why, that doesn't seem right? And I remember immediately getting shut down. She's like, well, that's what the Constitution says, and we need to follow the Constitution. I'm like we said before, the Constitution was written by people that owned slaves. I don't know if they should be the moral backbone of this country, and it's not like they're even alive anymore. So
and some of them even said, look, y'all gonna need to rewrite this shit, because some of us is out of our fucking mind.
Right.
It's not even against the law. They even made it to where it's not against the law to overthrow your government because they knew that they was crazy enough. You know,
our country's founded on a revolution. I mean, you look back and we talk about women's rights and how happy we are about it. We talk about LGBT plus rights, even though we hardly have any. When we talk about all these things as if Stonewall wasn't a riot against police brutality, as if women's abolition movement, you know, I mean, granted, white women's abolition, because it's not like women of color were included in that movement. Those were
I'll tell you a small revolution that a lot of people might not even know about. It's about how women kept the right to smoke in prisons. You know,
I haven't heard about that. Tell me.
Women prisons, you can smoke. In Michigan, they rioted. They beat people ass. People got stabbed.
Yeah, that seems like a civil liberty you should have.
People got their ass beat. See, when they did the man was more submissive, you know, because a lot of men trying to get out, trying to change their lives or whatever, trying not to act on emotion.
Right.
Women are emotional beings, and men are too, but you trying to take away cigarettes in prison.
You've already taken away so many
freedoms. Rights. And
the least you can do.
Most of them probably deserve to be in prison, probably.
Fuck prisons.
Fuck prisons. Fuck prisons. If the motherfuckers ain't grooming nobody or stabbing, you know what I'm saying, stabbing their moms to dad, whatever the fuck, then yeah. But yeah, they really went hard. And in Michigan, women can still smoke, but men can't.
I had no idea about that. I definitely had to look more into that.
Maybe they put a stop to it, but I know women was going hard. Women, I think this wasn't even that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. I was watching it on the news. It's like, what? They was rioting.
Well, and that's insane to me how much, I mean, you know, we never abolished slavery. We just said, well, slavery's wrong in most circumstances, but you know,
let's just give it to everybody, man.
Yeah, let's, you know, we got, you know, prisons now, and that was their little loophole, and we could go into the history of how we created the prison industrial complex, but that's for another time. But it's like the fact that it's just how many more rights can they take away, how much more, and the fact that we don't focus on rehab. We're putting people in prison that we're sitting here smoking, and we got people sitting in prison right now because they had a gram of weed on them.
Back in the days, I used to get chased by the police. They used to know. No more floating over. They used to know a nigga was coming from the trap. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit. Here they go.
Yeah, here we go again.
I'm gone. One police, I only got caught like one time. I got caught one time that I remember, and the police officer told me, I should fuck you up. I should do this and that, blah, blah. And, you know, I was like, man, this is just a nickel bag of red balls, man.
Yeah.
A nickel bag.
You're not hurting nobody. You're literally not.
I'm too young to smoke. Understandably.
Right.
Understandably. By law, I was, you know what I'm saying? But, my nigga, this Detroit.
I'm in poverty.
This the east side of Detroit. And not only that, you know what I'm saying? I spent my last little $6, $7 on this Black and Mild blunt and my little weed. You know, it's real crime out here.
There's actual shit that we gotta be worried about.
It's like real shit. Like, this is not like across the 8 where you might catch a motherfucker robbing a nigga or breaking into a house. Like, it's a nigga like you might be driving and seeing a nigga get stuck it up. Yeah. All right. It's real shit out here. You out here worried about me with a nickel bag of weed, man? Go get a real job, bro.
I know that. No, it's exactly. I completely agree. It's just like, dude, you are already if you're, you know, a lot of the people that are living in Detroit, you have these low SES communities, like, they're going through so much. Just let them sit back and just leave them alone,
but
bro.
These motherfuckers, and what kills me about police officers is because I went to a couple of police bars. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you find yourself voluntarily?
I didn't know. But I noticed their faces because they were COs and police officers. I've been in Macomb County a dozen times, so I know these motherfucking faces. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I never forget you. You know, so I'm looking like these motherfuckers snorting cocaine. These motherfuckers doing all types of shots, tequila, Hennessy, straight. I'm like, oh, but who driving home?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro.
You watch them speed down the road. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I mean, we have all these cops that have killed people, like, and I mean specifically black and brown people. That nobody's they're just like
that one
going about their life.
That one story when the cop hit the one little boy and fled the scene of the crime, nigga. State trooper.
Yeah.
Got the fuck on. I'm like, bro, really?
And it's at that point where you're just like, I don't know how to explain to you that you should just have empathy for people and you should just care about people. And we've seen evidence. I mean, you look even just back at the Stanford prison experiment. Yeah. That right there proved, like, they couldn't even finish the experiment. That proves that when you give people that much power, you take away people's autonomy like that, you're gonna abuse it. Yeah. And that was just in 2 weeks. Think about, like, decades of that. Think about, you know, the fact that our police originated as slave catchers. I mean, like, our system cannot be fixed because it's always been broken. It's never been fixed. We can't fix it. We have to just create something
abolish
new.
It.
Yeah, abolish it and restart.
You know what? A lot of people, they have a great question. Even though I feel like it's an asshole question. What is you gonna rebuild after everything is burnt down? Bitch, I don't care.
Like something better
anything can be better than this. And let's not get it twisted. We still have other countries. Right. We can just make our own leaders. You know what I'm saying? We can always be like, all right, this nigga moral enough to run some shit. If not, look, you know what happened to the last nigga. You see what happened to the last nigga? It can be you. Right. Let's do the damn thing. Okay. That motherfucker, these motherfuckers all across the country, you know, China gonna be trying to contact the motherfucker. They're gonna be trying to take over. You know what I'm saying? But if we show, like, look, we still train, we still got our military men and women, we still got our congressmen and women, whatever. You know, we still, you know what I'm saying? We still are a country, but we can drop the relationships with the dictators, you know what I'm saying, and get our relationships back with Australia.
There's so many things
China.
We could fix.
I mean, I want to say China, sorry. I meant to say Canada. Not China.
You're about to get canceled. You better be careful.
I get canceled every Friday.
I got canceled. I kind of faced my first sort of cancellation, but it was a bunch of, like, just, it was Zionist Twitter, so I was like, well, that's to be expected. Yeah. I guess.
Excuse me. 1 second. I hear you.
What are you doing? Oh, you're just airing it out. I thought you were walking out. I was like, you just about leave me by myself here. I'm about to take over the show. Like, I'm about to colonize the show. Like, that's
it's a new house around you.
Here I am. I am Rome. I'm a little bit lighter. I look a little different.
Like, did they? Hell no. I ain't never watched this show, but this shit pissed me off right here.
I know. I just start screaming.
Like, man.
That's how I feel. I just feel angry all the time. I'm just like, I just want to yell. Like, I just don't. Like, people are like, oh, but we have all these laws and fuck that. Our country could have ended poverty forever ago. We could have ended all these issues that they're claiming they can't fix. They can fix them. We just don't have the The people in
They
power just don't want to do it.
To do it. They don't give a fuck.
Their pockets are filled by billionaires.
Why should I?
Why do they care about us?
Why should I give a fuck in the first place? Like really? Like, let's get one thing straight. We all have selfish ways. And I even said this on Twitter on one of my lives. I said, like, look, I'm only doing this shit for my kids. Y'all niggas just gonna benefit from it.
Right.
You know, so hey, I got my selfish ways, and I can see a nigga getting power and being like.
But you've also lived it. You have every right to say, like, hey, I don't want to be oppressed. I don't want to be, like, I don't want my kids to be oppressed. You have every right to say that. Everyone has a right to their civil liberties, and if yours are being violated, then I'm sorry if it pisses people off. But
everybody get pissed off at what I say. But it is a good thing, you know. That's why I always post shit like, you know, abolish the Supreme Court and, you know, like the age or voting or term limits and shit like that, because people think they are radical left until they really read some shit like, whoa.
What is radical left?
Like,
you know?
Yeah, this nigga, like, yeah, that's radical. Like, that's so radical I can't even like it because I get canceled.
Right.
So, and this is the thing. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck about you canceling me because I'm gonna say what the fuck I want.
This is your life.
I feel how I feel, and this you're gonna get everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything from me. You know what I'm saying? I don't hide a goddamn thing, but at the same time, these motherfuckers think, you know, oh yeah, I'm radical left, I'm a commie, and this and that. But I'll be like, look, let's stop protesting. Let's just really end these motherfuckers. And people like,
and
what?
People like are kind of, yeah.
Well, I thought you was radical.
Then
you know
people get surprised.
I thought you was radical. You know what I'm saying? Because what are we doing? What is the end game? You think these people are going to go away once we vote them away and they got so much power and money and influence, control, connections throughout the world? What are you going to do with these people? We're going to just toss them in a bin?
Yeah, where do they go? Because they're not going to go down without a fight. They're not.
They're not going down without a fight right now. They know they're dying out. So they're doing everything they can to say, fuck climate change, fuck you, fuck your healthcare, fuck this, fuck that. They sticking up their middle finger so hard that they fucking... these motherfuckers ain't got, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Man, we just really need to get rid of these people at the end of the day. We really need to focus on where to put these people.
We need to be doing campaigns and protests, if we are protesting, that are actually disrupting and going to bring about change. Because at the end, we already know our government doesn't care about us. So what can we do to disrupt and do things that'll piss them off? So you look back at the civil rights movement.
Punch Mitch McConnell.
I mean, yeah, I would like to punch him in his little turtle face. That man looks like a turtle.
And you know what? You might. I'll punch Mitch McConnell. I'll punch.
It's on site.
Just about any politician. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a strong believer of equal rights, so I might just smack a woman. If she's responsible for death, hell yeah. Like, you know, voting for wars, arming people, like that. How is that not?
Yeah.
That makes you smackable. I don't care who you are. You can be a duck. We can put a duck on the desk and tell him, and which one his foot land on, that's what. If he vote to bomb brown kids, I'm smacking the shit out that duck. Animal cruelty, women abuse, human abuse.
You better be careful. You about to get yourself in some trouble.
Hey, look, man, because I feel like, maybe if I smack you back to reality. Because did you know that you just killed people?
Right.
You know
they don't realize, like, I don't think it really sinks in for them.
That smack stung for a second, for a couple of seconds.
Felt a
but
tiny
people
percent.
feel heartbreak, trauma throughout years from your voting past, from your voting record.
Yeah, it's not just like people when they talk about Biden and they talk about Trump and a bunch, I mean, not even Trump, but more these career politicians on the Democratic side, they're like, oh, that was what they used to feel. It's one thing to have been homophobic in the past or to be racist in the past and to have learned from it. But to vote.
Yeah.
Take those racist thoughts, those homophobic votes, create policy that oppresses people. You don't get to just say, I don't feel that way anymore.
Right.
You hurt people. There are still people sitting in prison right now.
Yeah.
While Kamala Harris goes on, back a little while ago when she went on the Breakfast Club and talked about how she smoked weed and listened to Snoop
I listened
Dogg.
to Snoop Dogg and Tupac before they came out.
Yeah, and then she also, you also then arrested people after you smoked weed. Make it make sense, and then these white feminists will be like, yes, queen, we love representation, queen, yes,
but they
girl.
hate black women like Nina Turner, though.
Absolutely.
Because they hate black women who's loud, proud, and don't give a fuck about what they think.
They don't care about offending or because that's the thing, you shouldn't. When something's threatening your existence, when your existence is political, you don't get to just not what you want me to do, just sit back while I'm watching 1 in 3 women get assaulted after I've been assaulted, after I've lived that, or for you after you've lived through poverty or lived the experiences of racism. You just want us to sit back and say, that's just how it is. And that's what people have been doing for years.
Yep. And that's why they're like, oh, you know what? I feel like the saying, you get more conservative when you get older. Look, a lot of our parents was fucking bigots. Nigga, you been conservative. You been racist. You know what I'm saying? Conservatism isn't even what they think it. You know what I'm saying?
You don't just develop that mentality. It just doesn't come out of nowhere. That's something that's taught.
Yes. And their thing of conservatism is not even really tradition. It's oppression. You know what I'm saying? Because conservatism is tradition. And the thing is, with some white people, they don't feel like they don't have a culture. They don't have,
Oh yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot, and even myself have been like, what culture? That's something I've always have not understood about white people, is that, and Christians and any power group, they want to be oppressed so bad.
Yes.
Until they actually
get oppressed.
Until they actually feel it a little bit. White people want to be oppressed so bad. We sit here and we're like I've been told, because my partner lives down in Detroit, I drive down there to see him because that's where he's from. That's where his family lives. That's where he lives. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm scared of Detroit. I'm not gonna go down there. I'm not gonna lie. There were fears because I had a friend that was bigoted.
Because yes, and I told I was dealing with one of my friends, and I told her look, stop saying that. Because that's racist, and that lets me know that the people around you are racist. When you say, "Oh, I'm scared to cross 8 Mile. I don't drive across 8 Mile past this time." What? That's like me saying, "Well, how would you feel if I said that?" Then you're gonna be like, "Oh, the police isn't that bad." Yeah, to you.
Yeah, to you. And that's the thing. A lot of people there's a difference between me saying, as a woman, I don't feel comfortable walking by myself at night. When I walk out this house, you're walking me to my car.
Yeah.
But to say specifically, and this is something I used to say to Jawan, and this is something he checked me on. And that's the thing, I'm not afraid to admit that I've been problematic, I've been bigoted, because people grow and they learn, and we're constantly evolving ourselves.
I mean, I ain't gonna say I was bigoted, but I was kind of ignorant. Somebody tried to cancel me before. I said, this was back when I was 17 or something. I said, I don't really believe in gay women.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I was like, I'm fucking 17. But I was having sex with a lot of fucking different women. And
you were just saying some dumb shit.
But it wasn't even that. I was talking out of emotion. And it was really somebody that made me mad at the time. So I was really making a video about her type shit. She got pregnant.
Okay.
But me and her used to do it back then and whatever.
So your masculinity got a little fragile.
Yeah, I got a little fragile. I was like, oh, bitch.
But the fact that you can acknowledge
no more pregnant studs. I don't want to see no more pregnant studs. If you say you don't like no dick anymore, don't end up pregnant.
See,
and somebody was like, is this you? Blah, blah. I was like, yeah, that's me. What the fuck you want? What the fuck you want? It's still on YouTube right now. And I won't take it down. I have permission to take it down. I won't take it down. You know what I'm saying? Because it's growth.
Right.
I even have statuses of me supporting Obama and statuses of me wanting Kamala Harris to run for president. But growth is a motherfucker, right?
That's why you got put on that list, isn't it? The not a true communist that you got put on.
What?
I thought that was bold. I bet that's some white like leftist, some white like leftist that just reads Marx.
Yeah, it was some Jamaican.
Really?
I mean, not Jamaican. It was I'm sorry. I apologize. It was a different language. It was either Hmong, Chinese. It was Asian, some type of Asian language. But yeah, I'm like,
yeah, it's not like who's the there's no CEO of leftism. There's no gatekeeping here. Like we should have conversations and say, hey, you call yourself a leftist, but like you're doing this. But again, like there's ways I'm very much a proponent of education and growth and development. And I don't want to just sit there and be like, oh, you think this, like, F you. I'm gonna figure out, okay, let me see why this person feels this way before I just completely cut them off. Because for some people, it's not healthy to keep in touch with some people.
That's why I don't block people. I don't block people. You know, you say what you want. Sometimes I'll have a kickback. I'll kick back with you. Sometimes I'll let you just go ahead, but I won't block you. Because I feel like that's the important thing, is not becoming an echo chamber.
You want to isolate people.
Yeah.
And then when you end up isolating certain people, that's when the right starts to creep in and say, hey, you don't like the Palestinian genocide.
Yep.
Let me creep in here and put some JQ shit in your brain, versus when we could have actually had a discussion about the Palestinian genocide.
And you see, I was
Are we trading?
Yeah, both. I was telling somebody about this. Like, look, the left and the far left and the far right agree on a lot of things, man. But the thing is, it's the education barrier.
Yeah.
The education barrier keeps them bigoted.
Those groups prey on ignorance, and that's why like I'm a community health major. That's what I'm going into, and one of the things that I find so important is I want to put my activism, my energy into prevention, because if I can raise a more empathetic generation, then we don't have to teach people to unlearn shit.
Right.
Like the reaction people, we have so many people that react. We have so many people that talk about oppression now, but we don't have anybody that sits down and goes into high school and says, hey, let's go down to Detroit public schools and put in some programs where we can teach them how to handle their money, or teach them how, like, about leftism, teach them about actual governmental systems.
If they put money into Detroit public schools,
they'd be unstoppable.
I would have been in the Senate by now.
And that's something I talked with my partner about, how he I'm not going to get into his personal stuff because that's not my story to tell, but he missed some school for some time because of things out of his control.
Shit, I had to get, my mama needed rent money.
And what they did was they passed him that year. And he told me, he's like, I shouldn't have been passed. He goes, but they don't care. They want their funding.
No child left behind.
Yeah, they just want to send him through. And he doesn't even get Detroit Promise because of because of his resources. He's a kid that should get Detroit Promise, and because of his situation, he had to go out of district to graduate.
Yep.
And so,
and a lot of our parents get in trouble because of that. A lot of our parents get in trouble because, if, like, my mother got 8 kids, like,
that's Jawan. There are 8 of them. If
some of us went to school in Detroit, all of us had to go into school somewhere in Detroit. We couldn't cross the 8 unless we was like a high school, like 12th grade or something like that.
Yeah,
because our parents end up
they don't want you on the streets,
and they don't want to share schools with us. They don't want to share schools. They don't want to share nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough that we pay taxes for the suburbs. We pay, we pay these police officers. It's like we pay the police officers. They take their money that they make from us, pay their taxes out there.
And
nothing get redistributed. You know what I'm saying? Like
nothing gets put back into the community.
It's nothing for us.
And that's another thing I've noticed is we have these protests. We go down to Detroit, and it's great, but it's also like when violence does break out, we have citizens there that are going to get targeted. We have communities there that they're not going to rebuild. If we come out like here, where you live around, someone destroys a Target around here, it's getting rebuilt right away.
Same day.
In Detroit, they don't even have a Target in Detroit.
I don't give a fuck. Because you can burn down a building, they'd be like, okay, thank you.
Be like, thanks, we were actually gonna
knock that motherfucker down. We was looking to write a law to knock that motherfucker down. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. And the protest really gives these insurance companies reasons to have rioters. You know what I'm saying? And for a nigga that worked for Wells Fargo, man, these banks, these insurance companies, man, they grimy as hell, nigga. Man, I'll tell you stories, man. If the block is too janky, like we'll fix up a whole house, make it just as beautiful as this. You know what I'm saying? We make it look good. But furnace, hot water tank, sink, all that shit, we just taking a picture and snatching the shit right back out. Horrible, man.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, even my experience, and I was in, the suburbs, surrounding Detroit, like 20 minutes out, and we have more resources there. But again, even my education sucked. Yeah. We didn't learn about, all our history was whitewashed. Yeah, we didn't have sex ed. We didn't have anything that taught us about drug use other than don't do it. Our valedictorian of DARE ended up in rehab her sophomore year. And, it's just... It's all performative. Like, all these policies were put in place.
I don't think DARE failed. I think DARE was put in place to do what it did. To make kids pay attention to drugs, because kids weren't paying attention to fucking drugs. We was paying attention to Power Rangers and, you know what I'm saying?
Because we're kids, we just do our thing.
Drugs, crack, marijuana.
I know, they acted like people would come up to you and
ecstasy. Like it was one dude.
I don't care about none of that.
It was one dude who tried to sell me crack when I was like 7. One guy, I remember. But ever since then, niggas don't even want to sell me weed half the fucking time.
Dude, I got a med card. Like, I don't, it's just this, or a lot of we don't talk about addiction the way we should in this country. I mean, most of the reason people get into these harder drugs is because of pharmaceuticals. Yeah. They never said that though, because that wouldn't perpetuate their black and brown people are scary. Oh no, stay away from them.
I got addicted to pills for a while. I was on Xanax and
oh god.
Opernus.
I burned my eye, man.
Careful.
I know, right? God. I don't know how to smoke. I ain't smoking a minute. I don't know how to smoke anymore.
First. I rolled another one.
What were you saying though?
But yeah, I got an addiction because the American healthcare system. And my dentist, like, I couldn't get no dental insurance for a long time, man. Like ever since I got off of my mother's plan, I couldn't get no dental insurance. They wouldn't even pull teeth out. And I went from taking Tylenol, missing Advil, and this, that, and
you're self-medicating.
And yeah.
Because you're just trying to get through the day. Like,
it hurts so bad that I want to blow my fucking brain. I just want to kill my damn self. And I became a drug addict. And then look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, nah, man, you can't. Nah.
And that's the thing, even if that wasn't your story, even if your story was that guy when you were 7 sold you some crack and so you just decided you want to do crack, why is our government throwing people in jail over addiction? Why are we doing anything?
Because look, they make money off of you. I mean, they make money off the prison system. They make money off of crack because they're the ones who put it in the system. So not only is they, you know what I'm saying, get money from the crack dealers, even the nickel bag niggas, they get money off the niggas. You know what I'm saying, whether they know it or not. They're getting money off of everything. They get money off of you being in prison a day. You know what I'm saying? Taxpayers type shit. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying? They ain't gotta fucking give it back. But they make money off of your oppression. That's simple, and this is the only reason why slavery wasn't abolished but expanded. Because if we can put poor whites in the same boat as poor blacks, but make them feel more superior, give them a badge, give them authority, give them some type of authority, and they feel like they're more superior. That's why a lot of poor whites go to be police officers
or military
military men. And when they look down on blacks and browns when they get these positions. And and at the same time, if they take away these badges, they take away these rights from you like they normally do once you done working for them, you are in the same boat as us. You probably gonna be on the highway asking me for change.
Right. Yeah, people don't realize that they got more in common with homeless people than they do with these billionaires that they're trying so hard to protect. Like, none of us are never gonna be billionaires. Most of us probably won't ever even make six figures in our lifetime.
Facts.
And
we're gonna spend it.
Why are we taking care of each other?
We're gonna spend it, but we're not gonna
keep it.
We're not gonna gross that. We're not gonna see it. We're not gonna feel it. We're not none of that. Because I know I don't spend over $1 million for my 2 kids and the bills and all that shit.
Yeah.
So.
And with your history with legal battle and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Hell, fuck yeah. Just trying to stay alive type shit. And it's so expensive to be this poor. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not even I'm obviously by no means rich, but living in the suburbs, growing up in a white family, I was only like one of 3 kids. We were pretty okay for most of my life. My parents were divorced for a period that was really rough, but I look at the women in the shelter that I work with, and like even tonight I go into work and I'm gonna have a woman cuss me out because we don't have milk.
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with the milk. Like, these women are getting fucked over by the system.
Yeah.
They're getting beat by a person who's supposed to love them, and then now they're getting punished. And in a sense, like, I got grown women who have 3+ kids coming to me, a 20-year-old, asking me, can I get some food? Can I get my dinner tonight? And it's just like, I don't know. Poverty just really oppresses you. It really does fuck you over, man.
This is why they try to keep the oppressed voiceless, voteless. Tried their best to give you nothing to vote for. This is why the oppressed don't vote. It isn't because we're young and dumb. A lot of old people don't vote either.
Right.
A lot of them. Most of them.
Most people don't vote in this country. We got so many.
What is it? 300 million people in this country? How many people vote, actually?
Yeah, look back at our last election.
Come on,
and
man.
like these past couple elections have been considered big elections. And they're not even like, you compare us to other countries and we're like other countries.
This is a big country. Like,
we are a joke to the rest of the world. Like, we really are.
Like, if I'm telling you, like, if we was like, when I started watching other country news, you know what I'm saying? I have subtitles in American. Man, they be clowning our asses, man. Even the ones who say they like us, they don't like us.
Right.
Nobody likes us, man. I swear,
really
nobody likes us. And you know what? I said, I'm surprised they didn't get me fucking banned. That we deserve to be invaded. I mean, look.
We can't be surprised that we get invaded, and it's
man, the whole world, every country. Almost every country has a reason.
And we insert ourselves into everyone's business. Like, we're so obsessed with being the best country in the world in this nationalist, imperialist almost attitude of oh, let's go into these countries and fix things. And it's like, we don't even have it together. What are we fixing? We don't even have, again, we don't have universal health care. We don't have like basic human rights.
Right.
We literally enslaved a group of people on our land. Like,
and we still do.
And we still are, you know. It's just, and the thing is with us, that's different than so many other countries. You look at some of them like Germany, they acknowledge their racist past.
Yeah.
For the most part. You know, I don't live in Germany, so I don't know what it's like to live there, but from what I understand is these countries acknowledge their racist past and they talk about them and they educate about them, but we are so in denial of things and we make everything political that something like COVID is political, which in a sense, yes, it is political, but the fact that we make whether or not like Trump supporters feel like they have to not wear their masks because, you know, of COVID, and then liberals are like, I put on my mask, and they put like their little Biden-Harris masks on, and it's just,
you killing more people. You killing more people with your vote. Then you think you saving with that mask? But I gotta give a word to like two of my sponsors.
Go for it.
So
I
we're
got
gonna
work
do
tonight
a
anyway, so
little
we'll probably
commercial
get to wrap
break,
it up soon.
just a little commercial break, and then we're gonna come back. And she has something to say about Breonna Taylor. I stay public with everything.
And that's good. So I support sex workers. Some of my friends are sex workers.
Before it was legal.
I respect it. It's like the ultimate like autonomy and ultimate like common job, I feel. Like,
that's the ultimate capitalist job to me, because I feel like that's the like
it's solely from you. Yeah.
That's like the main thing. Like if you can capitalize off your body, you can make
your identity
billions. And I feel like I don't take advantage of the advantages I get, you know what I'm saying, of the context I get and the people that's around me. Because at a certain point, I start to feel like, this is hypocrisy. I don't feel right. No, this is not right. It's like when motherfucker try to touch you.
Said, am I becoming the system that I fought to?
Let me take a step back.
I'm literally, Joanna and I have had some funny conversations where he's like, he goes, when I was at your Christmas party and I heard all those white people singing Christmas songs, he goes, he goes, I'm not gonna lie to you. He's like, I started wondering if I was betraying my people. And I was like, you know, I get it.
Man, it'd be crazy, like, I don't know.
No, it's cool.
Like,
I've been really trying to get into touch with more like Michigan leftists, and at the end of the day, like, I'm not trying to like build a brand off myself. When I start this YouTube channel, I'll be starting soon. Like, if I only have 50 people watching it, that's 50 people I can educate. That's 50 people that I can bring awareness.
I done lost most of my base, but shit, that don't mean stop. You know what I'm saying?
There's still a fight.
Stop fighting. You know, and I still fight on the ground. I live in this era. It's like, damn, man, I really need to start. I gotta start really recording more of what I do than what I say. You know what I'm saying? Because people, like, a lot of people know, like, my followers and people that know me from, you know what I'm saying, from years back, they know that I'm really out here on the ground. But a lot of these people are like, oh, what they you do? It's blah, blah, blah. Because I don't have, you know, videos of me giving homeless people dollars and stuff like that.
Because you did it for the fact that you wanted to help a person, not so you can capitalize off it.
I don't like, and that's what, it's just like, oh my God, can you imagine being a homeless person, bro? And somebody holding a fucking camera to your face.
While they're handing
you some money, and you know, you just like, yeah. But that's dehumanizing. It's heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
And he's, how can I say this? Exploiting you.
Yeah.
to gain popularity, to gain likes and hearts and vote ups and whatever the fuck.
Right. Like, this is people's lives. This isn't like a brand I can build off of, a thing I can profit off of. This is shit that affects me, shit that affects my friends, shit that affects people I know.
That's why
we're talking about
really,
it. That's why
it
we're
really
fighting
only
for
matters what people thinks on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Detroit, like niggas know me, you know what I'm saying? Like they know some niggas call me Lil Bernie or Black Bernie.
Yeah, because you used to canvas down there a lot.
Yeah, I flipped the shit out of my
Got your little
little
sign.
I used to be out there. But,
and that's good. And I feel like a lot of times we don't give back into communities enough. Like you get out of the poverty and you get out of the hood, and it's like, okay, but what can you give back now that you are out? And even the idea that you're out of the hood now, like that whole mentality.
You're still in your same state,
right? Like you're just because you
a couple of miles away.
Exactly, you're still you and the people over there have nothing. And
we still have chains against us. The thing is, they make you think your chains are invisible. Once you move across the 8, they make you think like, oh well, yeah, we got your back. But at the end of the day, they like, nigga, fuck you. But it was something I meant to ask you before we started recording. We was talking about your work with Breonna Taylor's family, and I got some insight.
Yeah, I know an individual who's from Breonna Taylor's family, and I don't have any permission to put anything out there, so I'm not going to put anything out there. But I'm learning a lot about her case specifically, because I think it's important. Like we've said, part of the reason people care so much about police brutality and Black Lives Matter movement, part of the big thing is these faces that, these people that represent, the people that they didn't have we don't get to choose our martyrs. And, someone like Breonna Taylor, who was a Black woman who did nothing wrong. There was nothing anyone could have even said that she did wrong. And we still haven't arrested any of her killers. The LMPD is still doing their thing. One of the officers has been fired, but that's about it. And so one of the things I want to do is, on top of these educational videos, on top of like us having our talks here and there, but is to make videos on people like Breonna Taylor and really explain, like, this is what people don't realize, like, how bad her case really is. And that's just one case. And that's one case that we know about. Yeah. Even looking at my own experience with the police taking advantage of me when I was 16, and I wasn't even I wasn't the perpetrator. Right. I was the survivor. I was the victim. And I was treated like I was a perpetrator. I was treated like I was the rapist. And so, I think it's really important that we keep on talking about Breonna Taylor, and we keep on talking about George Floyd and Trayvon Martin years down the road, and all of these people, because, look back at when Trayvon Martin was killed, the mentality around Black Lives Matter. That's when it kind of started. Yep. Compared to now. Now we're having legitimate discussions about abolishing the police and defunding the police, and now we're actually saying, hey, now we have videos of this stuff, and we're saying, hey, like, this is really fucked what happened.
I was doing a little study myself, just looking at certain numbers. I'm not really good at numbers, so please, anybody, even you that's listening, do not take this to heart. But this is more of a generational gap type thing, because a lot of our people want to do something with the police. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in our age area want to do something like abolish or
something along those
at
lines.
least defund the shit out of them.
At least better training something.
Yes. So, but a lot of these older voters who pile on votes, you know what I'm saying?
They're our biggest turnout.
Yes. And it's gonna take a while. I don't want to say it. I'm gonna say it's gonna take a lot of people to die out for us to get some real change and real leaders.
Yeah, I mean, it's, we're seeing some more progressive candidates finally, such as, like AOC or, the squad. And even if they're not exactly what we want.
Right, because I have my problems, because I always tell AOC, I'll tag her like, you too weak on moderate Democrats. You too weak on corporate Democrats. I don't trust you. And that's how we gotta be on. We can't, like, Bernie earned his trust. Mm-hmm. We can't give AOC that same that same love. She just came in. She's still a year old. Mm-hmm. So
that's
keep the feet to her. Keep her feet in the fire. Mm-hmm. And she'll know better. But once she think that, the progressives will never fucking ditch me, nigga, it's over. Because it's the same thing that Nancy Pelosi did with her base. Now look at her base. There you go.
Nancy Pelosi is something.
Bitch.
I think my most recent favorite thing she's done is when she put on, what was it when, you know what I'm talking about. What was that? Now that is some
racist ass shit.
That's some caucasity.
Some white liberal wine mom told her to put that shit on, because ain't no black woman told her. If a black woman told her to put that shit on, she was trying to sabotage her. Straight the fuck up.
Yeah, that was
because that's not right.
That was something. I remember when I saw it, I was like, this feels racist.
It is.
The second I saw it, I was like, this.
Then she kneeled.
Oh, the kneel. Oh yeah. And then it's like, I don't want to see politicians kneeling. They're like, we need change. You are the change. Be the change. What are you talking about? Why did we elect you?
How long have these people been in office?
And that's the decades. They've had so long to get it together. How much longer do I have?
That's why I don't feel bad about the tweet I put up today about. I don't feel bad about people calling me an age. I don't feel bad about any of this shit, because old people are killing us. Old people are killing us with their vote. No, let's be real. A majority, old people that's doing good by us, this is not for you. So if you feel offended, then maybe you haven't done enough. Mm-hmm. But nigga, old people are killing us. Climate, to abortion, body rights, to fucking the prison, whatever it is, they are keeping this system alive, and they are dying out doing it. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Right. It's not. It's
not fair. So I don't feel bad when I say there should be a voting age limit on voting. There is an age limit on voting, because you have to be 18 years or older to vote. And even if we do take it down to 13, there's still a limit to when you can or when you can't. So why can't we have a limit to where we can stop motherfuckers, or at least tell, like, look, what do this say? Is this an EAI? Nigga, read this from far back. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying?
And that's hard, because you saying that makes sense, but I can instantly
it's voter suppression.
I can instantly think of ways that would be used to oppress people.
Yeah, it's voter suppression. It doesn't work under a system like America. Right. But the old people is the reason why the system would never work.
The way that it is.
So don't be mad at me for pointing out, solutions. I'm just throwing shit in the air. I'm not really writing bills, my nigga. I'm not really voting shit in.
You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to say ignorant shit. Because we're not. I mean, yeah, we should be aware. We should try to be aware, but we can make mistakes. You don't get to, like we said before, you don't get to just vote to oppress a group of people and then just be like, oopsie, I don't think that way anymore, because you have hurt so many people just by that one opinion you had.
That's why I feel like a slap is a slap. I feel like if more people slap politicians, they get their act right. They feel like celebrities. They feel like celebrities. They think they are celebrities, and they are in some kind of way. But we need to smack them, just like we do any other celebrity. We need, niggas to rob LeBron James. Maybe we need to rob a politician. How much money you got on you, Mitch? Yeah, give me all that shit. Nigga, the fuck?
We just gotta give Mitch McConnell a wedgie. Like, we give Mitch McConnell a wedgie.
People like
that
give
Mitt Romney a flushie.
They've
been
bullied.
Not a flushie.
Give them that PTSD. Because that's how they feel. They got their power, now they bullies. You know what I'm saying? Just with any other police officer. Man, come on, man.
We have so much power.
We just don't know it. We just got too much. We let them divide us in between skin colors, classes, and whatever.
Absolutely.
And now we're not looking at the big picture. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at our phones, but not the big picture. So the problem is we're not united. And we need a union for the citizens. Yeah. I don't want to start no parties. Like I want to inspire people to do their damn thing, because I know what's going to happen to me once I get too big, once my voice is too powerful. I know what's going to happen. I know what's coming. I already done fucking said fuck all the fake ass black leaders. Y'all niggas don't trick me. I know they're going to kill me. But I'm going to go out inspiring niggas. I don't want to start shit but inspiration. I don't want to spark shit but inspiration and fires, literally. No, but fires in your heart and your mind. But
I want to create. You just start saying, I want to create an all-black ethno state. I want to
not even all black, because
all the white people.
Because even my kids are mixed, you know, and I always tell my son, like my son got straight hair, like it's like one of his uncles and shit, you know, and my daughter got hair like me. So it's just like, well, not hair like me, but whatever.
Right.
Real curly, you know.
You can tell she's not just white.
I be telling them, like, look, y'all niggas gonna go through some shit. Whether it's a majority of, like, they say a majority of white people is gonna be dead by the time y'all niggas get like 20. But that don't mean that bigotry is gonna be dead. You're gonna get bigotry from black people. You're gonna get bigotry from darker light-skinned people. You're gonna get bigotry every fucking where. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so there's still colorism is still gonna exist. Racism is gonna exist. These systems are still gonna exist, and that's why I always say that we hate systems, but we don't hate individuals as people. Like, when I say fuck America, I'm not saying fuck the citizens of America. I'm saying fuck the institution and the system of America that oppresses people. Because I'm not gonna say, if I'm talking about solidarity and like how we're all products of our environment, but I'm gonna sit here and not stand up for everybody.
There's no use.
There's no use in this solidarity. It's bullshit.
And that's why I said, if you're not willing to ride in or die, why even speak up?
They just don't even want it. Like, don't even.
Go back to being a liberal, because that's what being a liberal is about. Towing the line. Look, when you far left and far right or off the scale period, look, all these motherfuckers become enemies at a certain point, you know. And I'm just trying to make the best out of what I have, and that's why I ride with Bernie, because Bernie was an enemy to me for a while, because I felt like, you know, he was one of the ones who I felt like he was one of the ones who would keep the lefties calm, keep us not rioting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, look, I'm one of y'all.
Yeah.
Look, one of us is in here.
Yeah.
One of us is in here, y'all. It's just not enough.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's not enough for you. And you're not even as far left as I need. You're really in the center, my nigga.
No, he is. He's the centrist.
Yeah.
and
everybody else is right wing.
We are hopeless. I just now I'm in the stage of my
no, we're not hopeless. What we can hope is we're not hopeless. What we can hope is these people can die off fast enough for us to actually take power.
Yeah, we can. Right, there's something to fight for, and it can feel very hopeless at times. But I mean, you just gotta keep fighting, because I mean, what else are we gonna do? What else are we gonna do? I mean, I could like go move to some socialist country and be all happy there.
Nigga, black niggas, some niggas was inboxing me when I said the Million Man March was set niggas up. The Million Man March set niggas up, and the Black Lives Matter protesters doing the same shit. All y'all niggas doing is getting sprayed, ate by dogs, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all protesting in the wrong areas. I'm like, bro,
there's no organization.
Where am I wrong? Where am I wrong? Because if the Million Man March actually worked, we wouldn't be marching for the same fucking rights.
Right.
Joey, what the fuck is wrong with you? How the fuck I'm still marching for the same rights my grandfather marched for? Right.
It's just a little bit less severe. I mean, it's evolved.
It's coded.
Yeah.
It's coded.
It's just it was Jim Crow then, now it's mass incarceration. Yeah. Like it's
or debt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or you stuck at a job.
Or food deserts. Yes. Or gentrification. I mean, redlining. I mean, look at Detroit with the wall over there. You know, we literally had a wall.
Yeah.
We still have it. It's still up. Yeah. We just. I'm tired, but I'm gonna keep on going. But it gets tired.
That's all that matters, because you know what? You're not gonna change the world. I'm not gonna change the world, but you're gonna spark the change and the revolutionary that is gonna change the world.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it important to keep preaching.
Yeah, it's not about being the face of a movement. It's not about being a person. If anything, the faces of these movements are the victims.
Because I don't make no money. Like, all the money I made off of anything was crowdfunded. Like, this desk was bought from people on Twitter. The computer, the TV, the fucking everything. Hold on, what else am I missing?
It all goes back into what
everything is crowdfunded. Like the everything. This is the last thing I bought.
Right.
I got $500. This desk cost me $265.
Right.
Then I had bought my little electronics and this and that, blah blah. But I didn't even know I had money in my Vimo until I got back in that account.
Right.
And when I saw that I had $50 left in that motherfucker from somebody funding me for my YouTube account.
Right.
Nigga, I bought the fucking mic.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's it. You can tell there are people that are. You can tell these people. They put activist in their bio.
Yeah.
And it's like. They make some educational videos here or there, but they're not really about it.
Yeah, they don't really.
They're profiting off of everything.
Yes, and I like,
because it's real profitable. Social justice. I mean, we're sitting here. People are going to be watching this, but the difference is we can actually, this is like the little blunt talk. It's just something for us to say. Okay, let's take it easy and let's focus on some mental health and just relax for a second, smoke a blunt. Talk about some issues in a real casual way, but then let's get back to business.
Because that's what it's really all about anyway, because we're just trying to find a relaxed way to talk about politics. Because, man, there's so much screaming, there's so much heart. Your heart tenses up on Twitter.
I can feel like
I smoke cigarettes so much on Twitter. Like, I smoke, like, I'll be reading through my notification. Like, it's so hard. I don't even
scroll no more.
It's so hard to get out of my notifications to even read some other bad, like, you know what I'm saying? People be having some good ideas, good tweets and shit. And it's just, we always focus on the 1 or 2 negative Nancy's, and I do this my damn self. I have 150 people commenting, complimenting me, and I'm only paying attention to the, and that's when I feel, and after this is why I stopped commenting, because I started to feel bad.
Yeah.
I started to feel bad, and like I'm neglectful.
And you gotta take care of you
I feel
first.
like I have to take care of the people that made me. You know what I'm saying? Because these people really made me. You know what I'm saying? Who I am. Because I was fighting, I was teaching, but I was unknown. You know what I'm saying? I have a voice outside of Michigan.
Right.
So it wasn't really like, I didn't. None of this would be possible without any of your voices. So it was like, damn, I owe it to them. You know what I'm saying? I keep I like somebody tweet like, and it's so hard. Yes, it get repetitive. And I don't talk back all the time because it do get repetitive.
Right.
But damn, I hate to focus on that negative, Nancy. And it make my people mad at me. I know it do.
And it's one thing for someone to bring up valid concerns and say, hey, like, I disagree with you on this.
Yeah.
And then you can have a discussion and really talk about it and then maybe do some introspection on yourself. But it's not like that. For the majority of people, when people, like, they come at you on Twitter and there's like, and you're just like, whoa.
They come at women harder.
Oh, yeah.
They come at women harder.
Especially black women.
Yeah, because look, Bree, I know they coming at you hard. You holding it down. Do your damn thing. I see them coming at women. I see MAGA. I see MAGAs coming at white women. I see the black Democrats coming at the black women and white women. But y'all are holding it down, and I always, admire, the inspiration that y'all give me when all these women just keep the ball rolling. Y'all was the motherfucking, y'all are the shit for one, and y'all was the reason Bernie even got that far. Majority of women supported Bernie.
Yeah.
Y'all are the reason why there will be a revolution. So I want to just, give a round of applause. I don't know if they got that sound of effect. The sound effect.
Just go.
But if you got that sound effect, put that on, Carrie, because women deserve a goddamn round of applause. They deserve a moment of silence for the ones who died for the fucking revolution, and they deserve a standing ovation. Because if it wasn't for a woman, I would be dead.
You wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. Period.
You literally would not be here. Yeah. So
I really gotta appreciate my women, man.
Conclusion, we love women.
Don't listen to conservatives. The things with the conservatives, man, is they so scared to change. They fear everything that's different, everything that's outside of their, reach. If they can't control it, then they're gonna be like, holy shit, this can't be. But don't let a conservative scare you, because they are nothing but scared creatures themselves.
Yeah, conservatives they're something.
They're scared.
They're people.
But that don't mean that they're not dangerous, because a scary motherfucker will blow you first.
Telling me, look at what conservatives have done to this country, look at what liberals, there's a reason there's a fight against them. Because they are harming us. But yeah. Good. Lots of good discussion we've been able to have. And this blunt's starting to hit. Now I'm just chilling. Now I'm just getting high.
Oh yeah, that's some nice weed. I rolled it wrong though. I ain't put enough weed in it.
Which strain was that?
That's a cookie kush. I got a lot of that shit.
Yeah, you got
A little bit, a lot. I'm about to buy some more tomorrow.
Oh, also, Carrie, there was a part that was recorded where I remember when I told you about where Juwan lived. I want to make sure that gets obviously cut out because.
All right, no locations. Cut the Brianna part out, and if I can't reach my sponsor tomorrow, cut that clip out and just cut it to where I'm sitting back down and we're discussing shit. You working magic. You know what the fuck you doing.
Yeah, you know what you know.
But I just wanted to thank you. I don't want to kidnap you and keep you for too long because a nigga buzzing, and I can sit here cussing all day long.
We could sit here screaming all day. No, I'll definitely let you know what when I start getting shit set up on my end. Because I want you to help me with that video. Because that'll be.
Oh yeah, I'm down to help. I'm down to help. Like, look, this is what communism, socialism is about.
We are comrades, all of us.
We all are in it together.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, if you are striving, I'm striving. As long as you are giving back. And a lot of these people don't even know, like, a lot of these conservatives, they talk about taxes and shit like that. I'll pay your taxes. Like, man, that can be looked at as a form of communism too. You know what I'm saying? We all look out for each other, so why not put that into healthcare, education?
I mean, public schools is a communist idea. Like, all these things that we have things in place that are communist rooted, that are socialist rooted.
Military.
Right. We know what we're doing. We don't have the political willpower to do it. Right? Yeah, I mean, it's just
because these old niggas won't get out the way. I don't give a fuck. I say it. This my show. This wrongs motherfucking rebellion. Beep, 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 beep. Nigga.
Oh.
I can say
I'm
the
gonna
N
get
word.
canceled for going.
I can say the N word. I can't say all them beep words though. I can't say the C word neither.
Yeah, I won't use that one.
Why we can't say the C word, but fucking UK motherfuckers can call me a C word all day?
I don't know, man.
The fuck? Cancel them motherfuckers. Cancel me. You know what you need to cancel? No, they already canceled. The Office. Yeah, I said it.
Oh,
I fucking said
what's
it.
your take on The Office?
No, I'm playing.
Oh,
I just want to make people mad. I know a lot of.
Oh yeah, what controversial take do you have? What can I get canceled for? Like,
the Wayne Bros suck. Make a whole bunch of like, what? Oh my god! I can't believe he had that white.
Martin was problematic. I said what I said.
Who?
Martin.
Martin was problematic. Ooh.
I said what I said. No, I'm just playing. I mean, there were problematic things in it, but there's problematic things in all our cultures.
That nigga Martin was a motherfucker though. That's a lot. That nigga was. He had a Napoleon syndrome. That was.
We need to film some sort of outro, or she just gonna fade it out?
I'm gonna do an outro in a minute. I'm just trying to clear my throat, clear my disc. She gonna probably cut all that shit anyway, but. But, anyways, we not gonna kidnap you, and I'm not gonna kidnap her. I know that, you know, get in the damn closet. Right now. No.
I'm about to appeal to all the MAGA fans. There is a black man holding me against my will. I'm a white woman. And we know how we feel about black women. You remember Made in America?
I'm so happy that this is my first guest, so I had to overdo it, and I had to just try to pick her mind. She will be back more than once. Yeah. So get used to seeing her face. This is my nigga Mason, and you can find her on Twitter at
Marxist Jar, and keep up with my Twitter because I will be more than likely starting my YouTube channel here soon.
Oh yeah. She is an activist and she is an ally, and I really don't even use that word. I don't really give a fuck about allies or not. No, because, man, it's just like, the world is different. The world is different from Martin Luther King days to Malcolm X days. We are mostly kind of mixed.
Mm-hmm.
So find the ones who want to fight for you, and if they're fighting for you, let them fight. You know, and if you're not gonna fight your damn self, shut the fuck up. Because if I mean, like, like, before we leave, like, let's keep it real, man. These transsexuals out here fighting, and these niggas like, these gay niggas. Like, nigga, what? You the real bitch. You won't even go out there and fight for your rights. These niggas out there fighting for their rights. What you fighting for?
What are you so afraid of?
But any fucking ways, this has been Ron's Rebellion. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know if you stuck through the whole thing, but if you did, I will be giving you a gift. So if you have made it to the end of this video, let me know, because I will know, because I have the data. I will know. Don't lie to me. No, I'm not. But this has been Rose Rebellion. Thank you for tuning in.